Peace and blessings, beautiful one, and welcome to Health Watch Thursday at the New Earth Health Food in Aburi and Ashediwasi. And I am your host today, Dr. Akua Gray, with A Life of Peace Wellness Institute. And we're going to be talking about the health benefits of REIKI. And REIKI is an energy system that most people are aware of. I would say that probably about 90% of the world uses energy healing. And the first that I want to talk with you about is the definition of energy and how it relates to the healing process. You know, we are energy beings. Everything that we are, everything that we see, everything that we know translates into an impulse of energy. It is what keeps the world turning. It's what keeps your body in motion. And it's what keeps the elements and the aspects of nature in balance. And it's what holds the heavens and the stars and the planets in the sky. It's all energy. So when we talk about using energy for the healing process, we have to, of course, take it back to the ancients. And in ancient time, and we have to go back to one of the greatest civilizations that there ever was, and that was ancient Kemet, what is now known as ancient Egypt. But in ancient Kemet, energy healing was used for everything. Words were spoken to invoke energies when healing processes, when changes were being made in society, when rulerships were in motion and changing. So the energy healing aspect has been around for a very long time. We have seen in a lot of the papyruses and the hieroglyphics different hand positions that were used in the energy healing process. So it's kind of been around for a very, very, very long time. I do know that in the ancient Dogon system, they have a ritual. When they couldn't understand what was ailing a person on the inside, they would lay the person at the foot of a nimba. And a nimba is a large statue that could be over 8 feet tall. And they would dance and chant and dance and chant and dance and chant around the nimba. And they would create so much energy friction that the nimba would actually begin to shake. And when the nimba shook, then they knew that it was time to lay hands on that person. And the priests that were doing the ritual, they would lay hands on the person, and that would then invoke the healing process. Okay, so ancient energy healing is something that we do know and that we do have quite a bit of knowledge on, and it's worth studying, of course, if it's something that you're interested in. Now, we can also look at certain aspects of modern day healing. So let's kind of like bring it back to home. And in modern day healing, just let's think of it on a personal basis. If you were to hurt yourself, bump something, something falls on you, smash your finger, one of the very first things that you will do is touch it. Touch that area, okay? And if you didn't touch that area, you would shake it to create an energy motion around that particular area that you hurt. If your child came in and they were crying, one of the first things that you would do is embrace that child, okay? Because that is an exchange of energy healing. Think about it. Those of you who are familiar with the Christian church setting, I grew up in a Baptist family. So we had mission sisters, and my grandmother, of course, was in the mission. And what they would do is sometimes they would go out to the sick people's homes and they would sing and chant and pray. And then they would also lay hands on the particular person that they were doing the healing ritual for. So our modern day healing practices that have been passed down from my ancestors and the ancient healing, energy healing practices are very common. And in fact, it's kind of like a natural instinct for us to be able to exchange energy when healing is necessary. Now, another aspect of energy that I want you to be aware of when you're thinking about energy healing is your aura. And if you've ever heard of the aura, you know that it is an energy layer that surrounds our body. Well, we have 3 types of auric systems around us, and there are many different aspects that are labeled and named in many different types of culture. But I want to tell you about the main 3. We have what's called an inner aura. And the inner aura is like our personal space. And that comes out about 6 inches from the body. And our aura is used as a part of our energy protection. Now, we also have an outer aura. And that outer aura stretches out just about as far as your hands will go around your body. Okay? And that too is a form of our energetic protection. And then we also have an infinite aura. And that is that energetic aura that connects us with everything that exists in this universe. So as far as the universe goes, we are a part of that energetic connection. Now, when it comes to using your aura or being aware of your aura as energy protection, I want you to think about it. Let's say you're in a crowded room and you look up and you catch someone staring at you, and then that person looks away. Well, how is it that your eyes knew to actually look in that direction where the person was staring at you? It's because their eyes was actually projecting energy into your auric field. And as a form of protection, your auric field connected with that energy that was being sent to you through the eyes, and you were able to immediately connect. It's a natural instinct. Have someone walked up behind you before and you didn't see them, but you knew that they were there? That too is a form of energy connection that our aura helps us to perceive things that are around us. So understanding your auric field and how you can actually project energy from your body to another person is an aspect of energy healing that is one of the ways that we understand exactly what it is. Okay? So I say all of that about energy to move into a certain form of energy healing that we call REIKI. And REIKI is a form of energy healing that has been around in its present form for about 100 years, a little bit over 100 years. And this present form of Reiki that we use has a Japanese foundation. However, I do say that if you trace something back far enough, you're going to find an African past to it. So the aspects of energy healing that we've been able to research through the many cultures and the many peoples of Africa, we know that Reiki or energy healing existed long before we have our modern day Reiki. So what exactly is Reiki? Reiki means universal or life, and Ki means life force or energy. So we define Reiki as universal life force or universal energy, okay? Divine life force or divine energy. So either one of those ways you can define what Reiki is. So how it's used is once a person receives an attunement of Reiki, then they're able to actually use Reiki energy and use themselves as a vessel to project Reiki energy into themselves or either sharing it with another person. And so Reiki has been one of those healing modalities that over the last 100 years, it's just been growing and growing and growing. And what we find is that it's used for helping in medical treatment. It's used for actually relaxation, stress relief in the body. It's also used to assist with memory. Reiki can be sent from a distance, okay? And there are 3 different levels of Reiki. Some systems of Reiki have actually taken it further than that to 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different levels. But in the original system of Reiki, there were 3 levels. Level 1 dealt with just working on yourself. So it was an introduction. And then when you wanted to actually work with other people and learn more intricate details about Reiki, then you would go to the next level, which we call level 2. And that would be what would be the therapist level. And then after you work at the therapist level for a little while and you really get to know the Reiki energy and how it's used, then if you thought that you wanted to be a Reiki master, then you move into level 3. Now, the majority of people who have been attuned in Reiki, it's on a level 1 basis, because working with energy requires commitment, it requires dedication, it requires you to really work with yourself. And some people just don't have that kind of discipline. So the majority of people who have been attuned to Reiki are still at the level 1. And then those who have moved to level 2 have decided, I don't only want to do this for myself, but I want to do this for my family or people in my community or part of my wellness therapy business. And a person is perfectly fine to stop there, because once you get into the master level, then that comes with another certain level of responsibility, because there are things that we learn in the master level of Reiki that require a high level of ethics, because you're working with people's energy on a cellular level, on a molecular level, and assisting them with fine and intricate things that might be going on with them physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Okay? So when we talk about how it's used, it's always intention activated. And when we talk about intention activated, we are saying that you intend for Reiki to run because really the energy of Reiki is the energy of the universe, and it's all around us all the time. But when you use yourself as a channel in Reiki, then you are able to actually open up your energy centers at the crown of your head. Okay, I think most of us might be familiar with chakras. I'm not going to talk about chakras today, but I will mention it. So if you're not familiar, you might look up a little bit of information on the chakra energy centers. But you allow a concentrated amount of energy to flow through your being in order for it to generate a high level of energy. So we call it also vibrationally superior energy. And vibrationally superior energy means that it's energy that actually comes in on a higher level. Okay? So most people vibrate between 400 and 600 hertz. That's why when you listen to some of the hertz music that they have out there for healing therapy, they're usually between 400 and 600 hertz. Now, a sick person is literally a person with a low level of energy. So sick people are usually vibrating at about 400 hertz or lower. So they're the ones that are getting into the 300s, the 200s. And that's in Reiki, we say that that's all sickness is a low vibration of energy. Now, Reiki energy, when it is actually channeled, it's concentrated and channeled, it comes in at a healing level of about 600 to 800 hertz. And so when we talk about vibrationally superior energy, then we are talking about that higher elevation of energy that Reiki is. Now, anytime a high level of energy comes in contact with a low level of energy, that high level of energy, whether it's positive or negative, works to bring that low level of energy up to its level. So that's exactly how Reiki works. It is channeled as a high level of energy, and when it is circulating through the body and it comes into contact with any low level energy, it immediately begins to work to bring that lower vibrational energy up to its level. And let me give you another example. So let's say someone comes and they knock on your door. You open your door and they are just ecstatic. Oh my goodness, let me tell you something. Okay, so you're sitting in here and you were just chilling out for the evening and they come with all of this vibrant energy. Immediately, you're going to be like, oh my goodness, what happened? Okay, so all of that high vibration that they brought in is going to translate right over to you and bring your peace level up to their vibrational level. And the same thing works on a negative energy level too, because we're talking about energy and how we use energy. So then if someone comes in and they cuss you up and down and you have no reason why, then you might decide to cuss them back up and down too. They just raised your energy up to that high negative level also. Okay. But in Reiki and healing, it's always positive. Okay. So that's what we mean by vibrationally superior energy. And that's why most people who receive Reiki treatments, they feel better almost immediately during and after their treatment. because literally a high level of energy has circulated through the body and has basically moved out that low level of energy by raising it up to a healthy level. And that healthy level, again, is between 400 and 600 hertz. And then Reiki comes in at 600 to 800 hertz. Okay? Now, when we talk about Reiki, it is attunement enhanced. And an attunement is actually a physical or distance ritual that is done by a Reiki master in order to ignite, and I'm putting this in layman's terms, in order to ignite the energy centers of the person that chooses to be a channel for Reiki. Okay, so the attunement process is one that, if a person decides that they are ready to learn Reiki, they will go through an attunement in level 1, they will go through an attunement in level 2, and also they will go through a master attunement in level 3. So it is attunement enhanced, because I have often had been asked the question, well, Dr. Akua, if it's just about passing on energy, then why do we need an attunement? Why do we even need to learn Reiki if it's something that we do already? Well, when you begin to work with concentrated levels of energy, then it definitely needs some direction. It definitely needs some explanation. Okay? Especially if you're doing it. Now, some people are natural intuitives when it comes to energy medicine. It's rare, but there are some people that are natural intuitives. But I would highly recommend that you work with a Reiki master in order to go through the different levels of learning energy healing. And by all means, Reiki is not the only form of energy healing that's used out there. Vibration therapy with singing bowls and tuning forks and all of those, that's energy healing. Pranic healing, which I think is very popular here in Ghana, is also a form of energy healing. So, we have many different forms of energy healing. And I've been teaching Reiki and also a Reiki therapist for more than 20 years now. And it has been a very intricate part of the work that I've done as a naturopath. And I have attuned probably close to about 5,000 students over that 20-year period. And it has just been absolutely joy to see how people align with themselves through the Reiki energy healing process. Okay? So we talked about the attunements, and it takes practice. An attunement is not magic. So it's not like poof, you get an attunement and then you're just, a Reiki powerhouse. No, that's not how it works. You actually have to practice. So in Reiki therapy, I usually assign students 21 days of empowerment work, where they actually work on learning how to use Reiki energy for themselves. They learn how to do self-treatments. They learn how to open up energy portals in their homes. They learn how to get energy flowing in their lives through what they consume in their bodies. So it's quite a bit of work that promotes the practice in the different levels. In level 2, which is a level of the therapist, then students are assigned several different areas to work with, not only themselves, but to also work with others. And this is all in earning certification as a Reiki therapist. So they have to do energy exercises on a daily basis, and they have to clear out clutter and things like that in their homes. And so, you know, those types of ways of actually getting to know who you are on an energetic level is a very significant part. And then when a student gets to the master level, they have 63 days of actual work with their symbols, with all of the different healing modality programs that they learn during their training. And it's a lot of work. Because like I said, when you get to the master level, you're dealing with a high level of responsibility in how you actually work with people's energies. Yeah? Okay. So in the practice, when one person moves beyond, let's say, level 1 and goes into level 2, then let's talk about what a therapist does. Okay? Now, a therapist, they learn how to assess energy. And so when you come in to a Reiki therapist for a consultation or for some therapy, the first thing that they're going to do is assess energy. And we assess energy in several different ways. We have a lot of energy portals in our bodies. We have our chakras, we have our meridians, we have our organs, okay? So within those energy portals, a qualified Reiki therapist will actually assess to see how your energy is actually flowing in your body. So they have techniques that use different instruments like pendulums, wands, things of that sort, that help them to assess what your energy is like. And then once the assessment is complete, they're able to tell you, okay, there are some energy deficiencies here. There are some energy spillages here, okay, where too much energy is coming out of the body. You know, that is possible too. There are energy blockages here, okay, and they're able to tell you through assessment. So once the assessment is done, then we also look at balancing, okay, because our energy can be manipulated in our bodies based on outer sources, then therapists learn how to actually go through balancing processes, okay? And those balancing processes usually involve cleansing the energy centers in the body. And again, they can be cleaned by using energy, they can be cleaned by using water, they can be cleaned by using sound, okay? And then after the cleansing process, then restoring energy into a person's body, especially if they're dealing with ailments, especially if they have, you know, energy deficiencies that are affecting their functioning in the world, okay? So then they will do certain techniques of energizing as well. And so the energizing can be directly with the chakras. The energizing can be done with crystals. The energizing, if they're level 3 therapists, the energizing can be done with different touch techniques, okay? So the whole process of energy healing through Reiki is a complete form of wellness. You know, it is literally in the form of Reiki that I teach, it's called naturopathic Reiki. And it is a unique Reiki system that involves completely balancing and bringing the wholeness of a person back into balance on a physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual level. So once they've assessed, once the therapist has balanced, once they've cleansed, once they've energized, then the person goes home with a health and energy health program. So what is it that you have? Because you got this way for some reason. And now you've come for therapy that has you flowing and glowing and just feeling real good. But now you're about to go back into that environment or back to that job or whatever that kind of got you there in the first place. So they also create energy health programs for clients in order to make sure that the balancing sticks, okay? To make sure that certain lifestyle changes are made in order for the energy, because you know your energy is everything. If your energy is funky, you're just not right. Okay? If your energy is low, you don't function well. If you're sick, you don't function well. So being able to follow an energy health program is also one of the main things that therapist does. Okay? So when you are ready to learn Reiki, then you seek out a Reiki master, and there are a lot of Reiki masters that are teaching around the world. And there are different forms. You know, some people who are Christians, they have Reiki therapy that incorporates Christian principles. Some people who are Muslim, they have Reiki therapy that incorporates Muslim principles. Those people who are holistic, there are therapies like naturopathic Reiki that incorporates all of the aspects of holistic living into Reiki. There are some that are related to ancient healing practices. So there are angel Reiki, okay? There is ancient Egyptian Reiki. So, you know, it just depends on where you want to go with it. You'll probably be able to find it. There are some forms of Reiki that focus specifically on how the Japanese did Reiki, because you know once it came to the West, we kind of put our own mix into it, so it's not the exact way that they practice Reiki in Japan. Yeah, so you know when you're ready to learn, you have to decide, okay, what kind of Reiki do I want to learn? And seek out a Reiki master. And there is a Reiki master in it, because it wouldn't exist if there was not a master that was actually out there teaching it. So once you decide which one you want to learn, then most Reiki therapy will come with 3 different levels of working. So once you choose your Reiki master, most Reiki certifications you do pay for. Okay. Now, like I said, I've been doing Reiki for more than 20 years. I think I should probably start saying 25 years by now, right? So more than 25 years, because it has been more than 25 years. And back when in the United States, which is where I'm from, back when we were having the issue that sparked the Black Lives Matter. You all remember that, right? So I was surrounded by so much fear. I said, no, we should not be living like this. So one thing that I decided to do is I decided to give my Reiki 1 certification to my community for free. So I put together an actual tour because my Reiki manuals were coming out at the time. And I put together a tour for the entire United States for me to go into every urban community and give Reiki training for free. So from 2016 to the time of COVID, 2019, for about 3 years, I was in every city in the United States just giving free Reiki training, because it's not right for us to have to live in fear, even if we're in a society that, provokes that kind of fear. I mean, we are energy beings. We come from the greatest people in civilization. So how is it that we have to walk around in fear? So with that, from that time all the way up to today, and that's been about 10 years now, all of my Reiki level 1 classes are free and open to the public. Anybody can come and take those classes. But on a normal level, most systems of Reiki out there, you can get trained in level 1, okay, for about $200, $300, $400, $600 is about average. So anywhere from, I would say, $200 to $600 for a Reiki 1 level. Now, I have seen some outstanding prices in level 1 of people charging $1,299 for level 1. But for me, Reiki was supposed to be, according to what Reiki was given to me for, it was supposed to be my gift to my community, because before, people didn't come into my community to teach Reiki. So I had to be that person to bring Reiki into my communities, okay? And I'm talking about urban communities in the United States, right? And so I did that. So then when you get to level 2, then level 2 is where the price kind of goes up. So for most people that are seeking level 2 training, you're probably going to pay anywhere from $400 to about $1,500. Okay, so just to kind of give you a price range. Now, one of the great Reiki grandmasters of our time, Mrs. Takata, okay, she attuned 21 Reiki therapists, Reiki masters, right? And so this was back in the 80s, the 1980s, okay? And it was said that she charged $10,000 to become a Reiki master through her back in the 1980s. Now, of course, we don't do that today. I don't think anybody has that much Reiki knowledge to where they can charge $10,000. But what you will usually pay is anywhere from about $800 to about $3,000 for your Reiki Master certification. Okay, so it is, I think that too might be a deterrent for some people when it comes to the acquiring their Reiki Master. Okay, but like I said, it comes with quite a bit of responsibility. Does anyone have any questions so far on anything before I continue?
So do you still do attunement?
Mm-hmm. Yes. Okay.
I was kind of playing around with Reiki years ago in the UK because it was open to us.
Yes.
So I studied it a little, with other therapy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't get to reach the master bit. But I had quite a lot of masters, Reiki masters around,
Yes.
in the UK. Um, and I really wanted to go up to about level 3. I didn't really want to go to the master's bit, because I
Mm-hmm.
do a lot of stuff, and I didn't think I need the master, but I would have loved to have the attunement. Yeah,
Yes.
because I think I got up to level 2 at least,
Mm-hmm.
but then had so much stuff doing, I didn't continue it. But I've always had my resource, my packs, my stuff. I did some online training,
Mm-hmm.
online, and just buy the packages, that takes you to, And at one point, I actually bought a package where I could do the attunement myself.
Mm-hmm.
They
Mm-hmm.
send me the whole stuff to do self-attunement, but
Oh,
I was
wow.
so busy, I just didn't get around to do it. But I've always had it in the back of my mind that I would love to finish my Reiki energy, because I'm that kind of person anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I'm that kind of person. So I really would like to finish it and get my certificate, and recently I had some friends still in UK. They just about was doing the online Reiki training, but I think they finished. They passed me actually. They actually completed now.
Mm-hmm.
But they moved to. Some of them have moved to Africa. They live different part, Uganda. They're gone all over, but they needed that, because they're nurses, they're medical people, so they wanted
Nice.
to, go into the Reiki, which they had completed, but I hadn't completed mine. But I still have my self, treatment stuff. I still have quite a few of my
Yes.
resource packs and stuff. I bring them over here with me.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
sometimes I looked at them and whatever. But I would love to know if you're doing training here, so that I can sort of refresh, and I would love to refresh it.
Oh, yes, for
Yeah.
sure. For
Okay.
sure, absolutely.
All right.
And I'll give my contact
Yeah.
information,
Okay.
at the end of the presentation so that you can call me and I can let you know
Lovely.
when the
Lovely.
classes are.
All right. Thank
Yes.
you.
Okay,
All
wonderful. Thank
right.
you for that question. Okay. Anybody else? Okay, so when we talk about Reiki and medical treatment, I am so proud of certain divisions of the medical industry, because Reiki has now begun to be accepted into certain medical hospitals, hospices. Okay. At first, when Reiki first came out, well, let me take you back a little bit further. In Tokyo, Dr. Hayashi, which was one of the prominent figures in Reiki, he actually set up a hospital, a Reiki hospital, where people could come in and check themselves in or be admitted for whatever reason, anything that was ailing them. Okay. And so there was actually a Reiki hospital. Now, recently, in let's say about the last 10 years, the medical industry, and I'm talking about in the United States, the medical industry has actually opened its doors to Reiki therapists and contractors. So when I teach level 2 and we go through the business aspect of Reiki, I let them know that if you want to contract yourself to medical institutions that are Reiki friendly, then they are actually out there today. So what I've found is they will bring Reiki therapists in to help with mothers who are in labor. Okay. They will bring Reiki therapists in to work with cancer patients, major hospitals. Okay. They have also opened the doors for Reiki therapists to come in and work with burn patients. Okay, those people who have been burned, because in energy healing, especially with Reiki, you can do it in two ways. You can either touch, okay, or you can not touch, okay, those ways. So they have really opened the doors for people who are getting ready to make their transitions in life so that it becomes more of a peaceful transition. So the hospices have actually opened their doors to work with Reiki therapists now. So it has really become an accepted form of alternative medicine that is becoming very widely accepted. One of the things that I also notice is, even though they're not hiring uh, Reiki therapists as staff members, right? They are actually seeking them out, to come in and say, help. Now, Reiki therapy can also be used when someone is grieving, okay? So I have begun to see psychiatrists and psychologists, psychotherapists start to refer their patients for Reiki therapy as well. So again, it's becoming much, much more accepted in the medical industry. Okay.
It's like that in the UK.
Mm-hmm.
It's just normal.
Mm-hmm.
Normal, for that patient to seek out Reiki.
Right, right. Now, for quite some time, it wasn't like that. It was like, what is this? It's not medical science, right? So that's been good. Now, Reiki can be used in so many different ways. It can be used to shift any negative energy debris from around you. Okay. So, you know how some people say prayers over their food when they're eating out, or, blessing their food? You can also give Reiki energy to the food that you eat to heighten the energetic frequency of the foods that you eat. So it's just so many different ways of actually using Reiki therapy. Now, I have written 3 volumes of Reiki. Reiki level 1 is called Opening the Way. Reiki level 2 is called The Essentials of Therapy. And Reiki level 3 is called The Power of the Master. And they're all available at Amazon, Half Price Books, all of those different venues. Ebooks, audiobooks, they're all available on those platforms. So each one of those volumes of Reiki also has a journal. So when a person goes through the training of naturopathic Reiki, then they also have a journal that they follow step by step for all of those 21 days for level 1, 42 days for level 2, and 63 days for level 3. Now, I also wrote an additional Reiki book to assist with maternal health, because we have some concerns about maternal health as well. So I created a system of Reiki called Maternity Reiki. Maternity Reiki. And Maternity Reiki talks about how to use. using Reiki throughout the pregnancy to assist with anything that she might be going through. And then also to assist mother in healing in the postpartum with Reiki. And also Reiki with the newborn baby. Okay, and assisting, the baby with developing energetic sleep patterns. Okay, all of those different aspects of Reiki. So maternity Reiki is also another way of using Reiki as a health modality. Okay, are there any additional questions? You're welcome to ask.
Are you based in Ghana?
Oh, yes.
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 So we can get to you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You can get to me. I've been here a very long time.
Last one, just speak about. We actually in that place in that field of maternity.
Really? Ah, okay, wonderful. Absolutely. Okay. Yes.
Even though this Reiki, you can use it on anything. Even animals, they have pets. Reiki for your pets. So you
Right.
I was, learning that you can do it Reiki with any, any species on the earth. You can use Reiki to give that healing, that support. It's vast. It's very wide.
Right.
So you can family,
Wonderful.
friends, pets, and they have animal Reiki.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this healing modality it's profound. And I absolutely love it. Whenever I teach Reiki, I always tell my students, you get me teaching at my best, because I believe that Reiki is one of those modalities that can create a healer in every home. A healer in every home. It's very simple to learn, but it's very highly effective and notable.
Yeah.
Okay. So if there are no additional questions, then I want to thank everyone for coming out today. Those of you who joined us on the YouTube Live. Once again, thank you to Dr. Sharita for inviting me to Health Watch Thursday. And we are broadcasting live from the New Earth Health Food Store in Ebriri, Ashredi. Oh, I wish I could say that right. Ashurasi. Yes, absolutely. So once again, thank you all for joining us today. We appreciate you greatly. Peace and blessings.
Thank you very much, Medasi.